If any information required to be given in this certificate does not fit, the company is also going with the transparent and they are going with the proper rules and regulations. And all the documents say it can be any kind of a legal document in the company which you are supposed to verify. That when you go with it, whether it is there or whether it is somewhere else, whenever they call for it, they should get all the document of section 383 of Companies Act 1956. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyashram First State College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students here. Now we're going to go with the next session of company law, and here in this session we're going to understand about the scope of compliance certificate. Now in the last session I have done the compliance certificate. We'll go with the scope. The first one is matters to be specified. What exactly you have, you are supposed to specify that. Flexibility in the forms of compliance certificate, verification of records and documents, period of the certificate. It's a very important one, that is period of the certificate. Sealing on number of compliance certificate which may be issued by a company. And the next one here is filing of the compliance certificate with the registrar. Now please understand, you are supposed to go with filing of the compliance certificate with whom? With the registrar. Now company secretary is very much needed in going with the compliance certificate. The next one here is rights to assess record, that is access the record. Attachment of the compliance certificate with the director's report. Laying of compliance certificate at the annual general meeting. Now you should have an annual general meeting here, and every time you are supposed to go with laying of the compliance certificate at the annual general meeting. Then we'll go with the penalty, and the last one is appointment and tenure of CSP, that is called compliance certificate. Now here you need to understand the first one when we go with it is all about the matters to be specified. Now the scope of compliance certificate, would comprise of certification of compliance of various requirements under the Companies Act and the rules thereunder. Now please understand, we are only going with the Companies Act 2013. We are not actually going with the 1956 Companies Act. Now when we go with the compliance certificate, the company secretary should be there, and he is the one who should go with all the matters whichever is specific. You are supposed to specify each and everything in detail. The CSP should certify compliance only in respect of matters, and that to what? That was specified in the form prescribed under the rules. Now you are supposed to follow the rules and regulation of it. If any matter is not applicable, it should also be specified accordingly. Whether it is there is an issue or there is not an issue, you are supposed to specify in the compliance thing. That is the scope of compliance certificates. Now when we go with it, please understand, we are supposed to go with various requirements under the Companies Act. So please be more careful when you write the answer. It is not 1956 Companies Act. Now we are in 2021 where we go with and follow the Companies Act 2013. Now flexibility should be there. As mentioned in sub rule 2 of the rules 3, that the compliance certificate shall be in the form appended to the rules or has near thereto has circumstance admit. It provides certain flexibility in the prescribed form, which means that if any information required to be given in the certificate does not fit into the format, necessary modifications may be made accordingly in the format of compliance certificate by the CSP. When you go with the company secretarial practices, please understand, now CSP is all about company secretarial practices. Now when you go with it, please understand, flexibility is there, but you need to also follow the rules and regulations. Sometimes if any information required to be given in this certificate does not fit, into the format, necessary modification may be made. That modification can be made is only the flexibility. Now you have a chance only to modify it, but not to change completely. You can only little modify that update it. The next one here is verification of records and documents. The next one is verification of records and documents. Now you are supposed to go with verifying each and every document, and all the documents, say it can be the any kind of a legal document in the company which you are supposed to verify. The company secretary need to go for a mandatory checkup as well as a verification of all the documents. Now for issuance of the first compliance certificate, the CSP should actually verify the various statutory registers, forms and other relevant records and documents maintained by the company from the first day of the financial year as well as for the previous period for his satisfaction. That means a company secretary, he shouldn't blame that he was not there when they went with the documentation. He should check each and every document given it to him, or after he has come, he should verify the previous document also. In case of any doubts on compliance, especially for filling of various forms and returns of CSP, should also check the proof for filling and receipts obtained from the registrar and other authorities. So he cannot go with any excuses. He should mandatorily, he need to check each and everything and verify personally. So these are the duties of the company secretary. Now company secretary job is not a very easy job. It is a very difficult one. But what it is, I told you before, right? That is no pain, no gain. Period of the certification. Now sub rule 2 of the rule 3 provides that the compliance certificate shall relate to the period pertaining to the financial year of the company. Certification should be on the basis of financial year or accounting year of the company. It may be for a period of less than or more than 1 year depending upon the period of balance sheet. So these are the period of certificate. I told you, please understand, if you cannot write the sub rules or the rule 3 provides, I'll tell you, don't write something wrong. So if you don't know the rules, the sections, the article, the kind of schedules, so please don't write it. Just write all the other formats. Now that is what we are supposed to go with. Now sealing on number of compliance certificate. Now secretary in practice, the Council of Institute has specified that a member of ICSI in the whole time practice can issue compliance certificate to 50 companies in the calendar year from 1st January 2003. Now that is what they have gone with. That is, they can actually give how much? 50. That is the maximum. However, in the case of firm of company secretary, the sealing of 50 companies would apply to each partner therein who is entitled to sign the compliance certificate in return of the provision to subsection 1 of section 383 of Companies Act 1956. Now you have a kind of a thing, that is, the 1956 has been revised, but when you understand that, at least how many they can go with it, that is, now the calendar year from 1st January 2003, that is, in the whole time practice, can issue compliance certificate to how many? 50 companies. This is very, very important. The compliance certificate can be given to whom? Like 50 other companies they can give it. Now filling of the compliance certificate. Now every company on which these rules apply shall be required to fill with the registrar of companies. We call that as ROC, Registrar of Companies, the compliance certificate attached with E-Form 66. That is, you are supposed to go with what? That is E-Form, and that to what? 66. I'll explain you about the E-Form 66 in a special session where you will understand what exactly those things are. electronically within 30 days. Within how many days? 30 days from the date, that is the last date on which the annual general meeting, we call it as AGM, annual general meeting, is held. Provided that where even if the annual general meeting of such companies for any year has not been held, that is irrespective of that, such certificate has to be filed with the registrar within 30 days. Whether you go with the annual general body meeting or you don't go with it, you are supposed to maintain those filings with the ROC, that is the registrar of companies. Now that is what the company secretary need to go with. And here when you go with all these kinds, I'll tell you what happens is, you will be very transparent, as well as you will be telling the ROC that whatever the company you are being a whole time company secretary, the company is also going with a transparent and they are going with proper rules and regulations. The next one we have is right to access record. Now the sub rule 3, I'll tell you, right, of the rule 3 provides that CSP for the purpose of issuance of company, that is a compliance certificate, shall have the right to access at all time. They have to access at all time. They can go with it. That is what the provision says in the rule 3. Of the registrar, that is the books, the paper, the document and records of the company, whether kept in pursuance of the act or any other act or otherwise, and whether kept at the registered office of the company or elsewhere, and shall also be entitled, it can be also entitled to require from the officers or agents of the company such information and explanation as CSP may think necessary for the purpose of such certificate. That means they have access for all the other certificates. When they go with it, whether it is there or whether it is somewhere else, whenever they call for it, they should get all the document and they can access each and every document which is related to the company. That is what the power they have. Next one is attachment of the compliance certificate with the director's report. Now the provision of section 383A subsection 1 of the Act provides that the compliance certificate shall be attached with the director's report referred to the section 217. It is also necessary for the company to attach a copy of the compliance certificate with the director's report while forwarding the same to members and other under the section 219. See, 217 and 219 go with what? You are supposed to go with the director's attachment, which is compulsory. Necessary comments on the director's report regarding appointment of CSP should also be given. So that is the reason here you need to understand the directors are the one who will appoint the company secretary. Now, when they go with the appointment of company secretary, it is the director's report which is very, very important. That's the reason you are supposed to always attachment. That is, you need to go with attachment of the compliance certificate with the director's report. You are supposed to check the report, and here the sections are 217 and the section is 219 of the Act. Now you are supposed to know all these things. That is the provision of section 383A subsection 1 of the Act provides that the compliance certificate shall be attached with the director's report referred to in the section 217. So laying of the compliance certificate in the annual general meeting. Now here again the rule 3 requires that the compliance certificate shall be laid by the company in its annual general meeting and shall be read at the meeting and also be made available to the members of the company for their inspection. See, annual general meeting, whenever it happens, the company secretary should always be there. A whole time company secretary should be mandatorily, he should be there. Now when they go with it, they are supposed to go with a report, that is whatever happened in the entire financial year or accounting year or what exactly has happened in that particular time. Now here you need to understand that all the members will be present. You are supposed to give them the copy. That is one thing. The next thing here is what you need to read at the meeting about the compliance certificate. What has happened, what really it is, any modification is there, or we are supposed to go with the same thing. Each and everything you should have a transparency with your board of directors, your members, and your top executives. Appointment and the tenure of CSP. Now, compliance certificate is required to be addressed to the members of the company. Therefore, it would be appropriate that appointing authority should be the members to whom this certificate is addressed. That means here you need to understand, whenever you put forward that you are going for a CSP, that is company secretary here person, now you need to know that what the members also feels. That's the reason the compliance certificate is required to be addressed to the members of the company. Therefore, it would be appropriate that the appointing authority should be the members to whom this certificate is addressed. Now, you are supposed to have that. And these are the scopes of compliance certificate. Any kind of a doubts you have, you can actually call us, messages. We are always there to help you. If you don't know the sections or subsections of the rules, it's a request to me that you are not supposed to write those, but you are supposed to write the other parts here. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.